know that a few years ago, we did have a very small amount of money set aside in our budget each year for a pipe replacement project, but it was something on the order of, going from memory here, maybe $500,000 a year or something like that was set aside for pipe replacement. And then we had an amount that we kept for emergency repairs, kind of like a reserve, that we haven't spent because it was intended for a real emergency response. And that was about $1 million, $2 million, something like that.
Good evening, Joan.
Hi, and good evening, Mayor in Washington, D.C. I've lived in Whittier about 60 years now, and
Joan, can you give your name for the
I'm
record?
sorry. My name is Joan Dinger. I live on North Comstock, and I've been there about 50 years.
Thank you.
I also worked in the water department for almost 14 years, and I was a participant in doing a lot of the water rate surveys. I was also the supervisor when we went through the last drought, and I think we had a 3 or 4 rate tier system then. And Mr. Pelser, you should be glad you weren't there then, because the director had to answer to all the appeals from all the residents who didn't like the amount they were being charged. Luckily, it started to rain, and that was the end of the tier system. I have a question because in the 90s, I know that the city had started replacing the water lines. And probably, Bob, you're the only one that was here then, and you should remember that. And I always wondered, what happened to that program? Why did we stop? Did we run out of money, or was money diverted to other things, like the police department, that we needed a new station? And I appreciate some of the other comments some of the people have made. I've always also questioned that. But mainly I wonder, why did we stop replacing our water mains years ago? I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago plus. What happened to that program? And why are we just waiting till now when it's a crisis? I'd like to know the answer to that. I mean, we're talking about 2 or 3 city managers back and several directors back. And lots happened during that time. I know that we have to have a certain amount of money to replace. I understand your reasoning. I think the sewer and the solid waste fees are nominal. The water is going to be shockingly high, and what we're looking at is monthly rates there, and people have to double that because we get a bi-monthly bill. So you're looking at about $80 next year plus for a 3/4-inch meter. That's just for the meter rate. The amount of water you use is negligible compared to the rate for just the use of the meter. It's just that things were let go too long. And this should have been handled years ago, not wait till the last minute. That's about all I have to say, but I know that a lot of people are shocked, and I know why we sell water rights. We have a lot of water rights because we have our own wells. We do it for the money. I would like to know how much has been accrued since the rates were raised 2 years ago. I'd like to know what account that goes into and how much you've used of it, or are you just holding it in abeyance until you could actually do something? That's about it. Got questions?
Respond to some of them.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Roy McKee, and I live in Whittier. Here we are again. You, your department heads and staffers are screwing it up again. Now you want us to pay more for water, sewer, and trash. So what happened to the money that should have been set aside for the ongoing repairs of our water system and sewer system replacement? Did you spend it in litigation for the oil project? What have you been doing for the last 30 to 40 years to upgrade the system? It's clear to me your department heads, to include your city manager, need to be fired for their incompetency. Let's talk about the water. To you, the public, I'll bet you didn't know our contractor, city attorney, Richard Jones, is also the chairman of the board of Cal Domestic Water. Whittier has a contract with Cal Domestic Water to sell them upwards to 6,000 acre-feet of water. That's about 1.5 billion gallons of water a year. 1 acre-foot is 326,000 gallons of water. Let's talk about trash fees. On February 10, 2012, an article from the Los Angeles Wave was published where the city of Norwalk ended its 7-year evergreen contract with Consolidated Disposal, which is a subsidiary of Republic Services. Norwalk had a study done by H&H Consultants of Irvine. They found that Norwalk residences were paying $20.79 per month. Other surrounding cities were about $5 less. When I checked my bill for the city of Whittier using Consolidated Disposal, I discovered that I was paying $21.20. That's a difference of 41 cents more a month. Councilman Greg Norbach, who was at that time a municipal service manager for Republic Services, which is the parent company of Consolidated, was at that meeting pleading his case to Norwalk to keep Consolidated. Why was an investigation not done for Whittier since we were paying more than Norwalk? According to Mr. Norbach's 700 forums, he had been employed by Consolidated Republic Services since 2002. It shows he was making a minimum of $10,000 a year from Consolidated. My best advice to the city is don't raise our rates, cancel the contract with Consolidated Republic Services, and find a less expensive waste hauler. By the way, Consolidated has made campaign contributions to the following current council members. Bob Henderson, $1,000, 2002. Kathy Warner, $500 in 2004. And Owen Newcomer, $1,000 in 2011. Oh yes, privatization of our Whittier Refuge collection will cost the consumer more money, not the city. Why did we not go to bed prior to awarding a contract to Consolidated? If our refuge collection system does not work, then it's your fault for poor management. You, the council, city manager, contract city attorney, and department heads need to resign. You have destroyed the city financially, and the worst is yet to come. Thank you.
I want to encourage people as they're making comments to stick to the issues in front of us. It's the 3 items in terms of the sewer service fee, as well as the water service fee and the solid waste fee.
Greetings. My name is Norm Wilkinson. I'm a resident of Whittier. And I will put my remarks to the fee. I really want to know is why aren't we using monies that we've gotten from the agreement for lease of annual water right production rights isn't being used to offset those fees. In our current contract with the city of Whittier between California Domestic Water Company, we lease them water and we get paid $4,800,000 for 200 acre feet. And I find it interesting that our city representative here said that by having a 2-tier system, we can enforce conservation. Part of this lease says that if they exceed the 2,000 acre feet at $600 an acre foot, they only have to pay $525 per acre foot. So here we're being asked as residents, we're going to increase your fees. We may have a 2-tier system, and yet here we're getting literally $4.8 million. And why isn't this being used to offset those fees? Why have we sold our water rights to someone else and then told them, go ahead, use all you want, and we'll give you a discount? And that's basically my question.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Gerald De La Fuente, and I've lived in Whittier for about 40 years now. And just have some basic questions here, some comments, and you know, this water drought that we have, I know it's a real thing, it's an issue, and we've been conserving water, quite a few of us, I'm sure the majority of us here have, and that's primarily my concern. And we're talking about raising our water rates again. And it seems like you mentioned that we're going to go back to last year's usage, how much water we've used last year, to go ahead and increase our water rates now for this year. Well, we've been conserving water, not for a year, 2 years, probably 4 or 5 years. We've done a lot of different things, not just myself that I'm speaking of, but a lot of people here have. And what I'm talking about is like, we've been cutting back. And the water we've been cutting back, we've installed low flow shower heads, kitchen faucets, using less water for showering now within the last month or so, turning the water down, taking faster showers, using less water to when we wash dishes. watering our backyard, only, I'm speaking for myself now, watering our backyard like once a week, and it's on a timer. It's a 3-stage timer. One area gets for 7 minutes, another 8 minutes, and another for 8 minutes. That's it. The front yard, we have ivy in the front. We water the ivy maybe 4 or 5 times at the most a year. I mean, it's very low maintenance there for that. I like it, other people may not like it, but anyhow, I like it because it's less work. But so it's like, to go ahead and increase our water rates now, it's for using less water, we're really being penalized. Here we've been conserving water, and now you tell us we're gonna raise it again because we've been doing a good job for cutting back, and for not using the water. Now you want to go ahead and increase it another 26 or 28%. How much more water can we actually go ahead and cut back? And, you know, how much more water can we conserve without having an increase on it? So I don't know. It seems like we're just being penalized. It's like asking us, okay, well, you want to cut off your hand or just your finger? What kind of a choice is that? I don't know. I wanted to make some comments. It probably sounds like I'm whining here a lot, and I don't really mean to sound like I'm whining, but I guess that's just the way I sort of talk. But again, back to the water shortage, it seems like, you know, we're building new high-rises, not here in Whittier, but downtown LA and other places, new condos, new homes, talking about building this, building that.
Mr. De La Fuente, your time is up.
Okay, having new customers come in, where are we getting that water from?
Thank you for your conservation efforts. We appreciate it.
My name is Manuel Diostado, and I live in Whittier also. And I just have just a couple of things. You know, I'm a single person. My bill for water, just water in itself, is $10 every 2 months. Yet my whole bill in itself is $120 for everything else included. I just, you know, all of those things, I'm pretty sure that I'm Whittier, and I'm pretty sure you all do a hell of a good job, that we have monies in some other items that should be diverted to be used to replacing our system. Our system is old, and I understand that, but those things that should have been done and kept on, and now that I'm here in Whittier, and I just feel like we have to pay for it and start accumulating money since a couple of years ago, since this increase started. I was at 40, I'm at 120 now. So, you know, it really, but I was just here to say that I think that you all can do a better job in getting other monies from other places to assist in doing the system that is the way it's supposed to be, and also keep it up so that way we don't have to confront this item every other 2 years. This is only for 2 years. Now, come another 2 years, there's going to be another increase, as what I'm hearing from the gentleman. So that's all I have to say, you know. And how long can we, the people, keep on paying so we can get things done and done correctly on a timely basis without having to get all the surprises and have only a few people pay for it during the time? I do thank you for the.
Thank you.
Good evening, folks. Again, I'm Ted Snyder. I hadn't planned to speak on this issue this evening, but on Friday of last week, I attended a seminar, or actually a symposium, conducted by the organization, the Institute for Science on Global Policy, right here at Presbyterian International Hospital, or Intercommunity Hospital. About 75 Whittier citizens attended this event, and the discussion was about water usage in California and the impacts that we can have in Whittier on that usage. And I see a direct link to this issue and what we were talking about. We talked about it from, I think, 7:30 in the morning until 6:15 in the evening. It was a very structured and educational experience. And what's clear is that you have an opportunity here to really impact, to think statewide and not just in terms of the ratepayers here in Whittier. I think you can do the right thing by the ratepayers in Whittier and do the right thing statewide by adopting by raising usage fees as opposed to raising the fixed fees. I think that has the important effect, as Mr. Pelzer indicated, of improving conservation of water, which is so crucial, providing an incentive to preserve water in the city, and also it also creates a circumstance in which the rates will have the least impact on those who are least able to afford increases, and the greatest impact on those who are most able to afford increases. So I think there's an issue of justice here as well. So I would encourage you, although I understand it will delay the implementation of these increases, I would really urge you, based on what I learned on Friday, to adopt an increased usage fee over an increased fixed fee. Thank you.